Emmanuel Henderson, the number 2 running back in the class of 2022 and 5-star, is a prospect who I've been meaning to talk about for quite some time because his commitment is coming up and I figured there's no better time to talk about him than right now. But before we do, as always, y'all know the drill. I want to hear from y'all and hop down to the comments and give me a Y for yes or an N for no. And right now, per 24/7 Sports, he is crystal ball to the University of Alabama, and spoiler alert, that's where I think he'll end up. But I want to know, do you believe that Emmanuel Henderson ends up a member of the Crimson Tide? Give me a Y for yes or an N for no and let me know why. If you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe and hit the bell notification. That way you don't miss any of my uploads because I do constant college football content. Player reviews, film analysis, talk style videos like this, and I'm on my push to 5,000 subscribers within my first year of having a channel, and I'd love to have you along for the journey. But with all that being said, let's talk about Emmanuel Henderson. And you might ask yourself, how is he crystal balled to Alabama in a year where Alabama has so much depth at running back and a lot of young depth? In a year where they just pulled Kamar Wheaton the year before, right, in the class of 2021, and I just made a video yesterday about the class of 2023's number 1 running back, Richard Young, saying that the offer from the University of Alabama was a dream offer. Well, Emmanuel Henderson is an individual who is from the state of Alabama, who has been being pursued by the University of Alabama very, very vigorously for a while. And the one thing that the Crimson Tide, I think, really have going for them right now is that when you listen to Emmanuel Henderson talk, he said the biggest thing he's at, and his head coach even addressed this, was loyalty. And loyalty at the coaching position. He liked the continuity. And the Crimson Tide have Charles Kelly after him, which is a big deal because that's a bit of a continuity thing right there. He gets to continue talking to him, which is a very big deal. But one thing I think that was very interesting when listening to Emmanuel Henderson and where he was saying that he could end up going and kind of reading up on him is that he is very, very close to Cadillac Williams, who is at Auburn. And one of the interesting things is Brian Harsin specifically maintained Cadillac Williams on staff, and it's one, because great coach, and two, because of individuals like this. If you already have a guy who has a great relationship with a 5-star prospect and a prospect in your state that the Crimson Tide is after, and you're the head coach of Auburn, you better keep him if he's a highly regarded guy, because that relationship is key, and it will be something that helps Auburn at least stay in the fight in this battle. And look, Auburn is very much well in this. If you have a great relationship with an individual and you've already said that you're big on comfortability, loyalty, and that sort of thing, that does matter a ton. But with that being said, he is still crystal balled to the University of Alabama, and I wouldn't waver from that prediction as of right now. Now, Emmanuel Henderson is an individual who'll be committing very soon. Within the next week or so, we will be getting his commitment, and so I wanted to take some time to talk about it. And like I said, not only do we have the normal players, as in a Clemson, LSU, Georgia, really I think this comes down to Auburn versus Alabama. That's going to be the battle for Emmanuel Henderson, and it will be an in-state program, in my guess, that gets him. Now, like I said the other day, the fun thing about recruiting is that this can all change at the drop of a hat. And that's what makes recruiting so fun, is because it really is just predicting and hoping you're right. And once again, I'm predicting that he ends up at the University of Alabama, but it is going to be a tough battle with Auburn. Now, I say tough. The University of Alabama sells itself, especially to running backs. The one thing that I think we do need to be cognizant about is that Alabama running back room is loaded. And it doesn't look to stop with Richard Young being very high on it. And even though Emmanuel Henderson is a guy who can come in there and compete and work for his time, he is that talented, he could reasonably look at an Auburn, because he already has a great relationship with Cadillac Williams, and say, there's a chance for me to get much more reps much quicker. Now, that being said, I think that it's still safe to say that if he has considered Alabama this seriously the entire time, it's probably a good indication that the competition doesn't bother him at all. Not only that, he's a 5-star. Usually those guys aren't bothered by the competition, and certainly not when you watch him play. He's got all the ability you could ask for in a running back. He's powerful. He possesses jump cut ability, but he will run straight through you. I mean, he is not at all scared of contact, and so no worry at all that competition is going to be the deciding factor in this. It could be, it certainly could be, but I wouldn't believe that to be the biggest reason if he ended up not going to Alabama. But to end this video up, I do agree with the crystal ball that he will go to Alabama. I'm really intrigued to see what information comes out between now and when he commits. And as new information comes out, you already know we will be talking about it. So with that being said, I can't wait to see you on the next one. That's it. See ya.